Today we have to discuss about the topic is oral submucous fibrosis. This oral submucosal fibrosis it is defined as insidious chronic disease as any part of oral cavity and sometimes in pharynx, which means this oral submucosal fibrosis happen in the any part of the oral cavity because by using kutka, pan masala, etc. betel nuts, these are leads to the irritation. That irritation is anywhere in the oral mucosa. At the same time, this oral mucosal fibrosis extend into the pharynx. As a result, there is a formation of vesicle and it is always associated with the juxtaepithelial inflammatory reaction followed by fibroelastic changes in lamina propria, which means there is a juxtaepithelial inflammatory reaction. Here is the epithelium, here having juxtaepithelial. The inflammatory reaction will be seen in the area. As a result, there is a fibroelastic change, which means these inflammatory cells can alterate uh, because these inflammatory cells can alterate this area. Uh, these inflammatory cells can alterate the area, result they stimulate the fibroblast. As a result, there is a formation of increase in the collagen. So there is a fibroelastic changes will be seen. Although it is always associated previously we talked about with epithelial atrophy leading to stiffness of oral mucosa as a result causing stiffness and inability to eat causing trismus, which means the mouth can't open properly. In etiology, there is a consumption of red chilies or excessive areca chewing, nutritional deficiency, genetic factor, protracted tobacco, deficiency of iron, beta complex, folic acid, increased erythrocytic sedimentation rate, etc. Mostly betel nut, because this betel nut can alter the fibroblast proliferation. As a result, there is a uncontrolled proliferation in the oral mucosa. At the same time, these fibroblasts can stimulate synthesis of collagen and increase the cytokine because of this betel nut causing irritation. Thus, a result, this irritation causing the macrophages and T lymphocyte release factors such as TGF beta, IGF2, etc. can alter. As a result, these cytokines can stimulate the fibroblast. This fibroblast synthesis collagen. There is a deficiency in collagen phagocytosis due to that betel nut deficiency of collagen phagocytosis. As a result, these collagen materials can't phagocytose by the macrophages, etc. There is a stabilization of collagen structure by catechin and tannin. Because of these betel nut produce catechin and tannin, as a result, increasing the cross linkage between the collagen as a result does not degrade easily and decrease secretion of collagenase, which means there is a presence of metallomatrix proteinase that is controlled by TMP. But this TMP activity is increased, so inhibition of metallomatrix protease, decrease of the metallomatrix protease as a result, collagen can't degrade easily, and there is a more cross linkage research. The collagen becomes strong. It is frequently seen in Southeast Asians, particularly India, China, etc. It is caused during 20 to 40 years of age group people. Females are mostly affected. The fibrotic changes are seen in buccal mucosa, retromolar area, tongue, etc. In early, there will be the burning sensation of by eating spicy food and drinking hot water or hot food. As a result, there will be a burning sensation present. and ulceration of mucosa due to the chronic use of the betel nuts or gutka, pan masala, etc. As a result, there is a ulceration of the mucosa, and excessive salivation is due to these betel nuts, and defective gustatory sensation. As defective gustatory sensation is due to the atrophy of the papilla, the tongue papillae. As a result, and also alter the gustatory pathway. Here is the gustatory pathway. The nerve can also damage due to the betel nut chewing. So loss of defective gustatory sensation, and the dryness of the mouth is due to using betel nut chewing. As a result, the atrophy of the acinar cells, and due to the fibrosis there is a blockage of the duct. As a result, there is dryness of the mouth will be present in late stage, slightly late stage. And vascular dilation and fatigue, it is the indication of the hypersensitivity to the betel nuts or areca nuts. There will be the vascular dilation and fatigue will be seen. Previously we talked about, and pain and shortening or deviation of the uvula. Here is the deviation of or shortening of the uvula, and the pain will be produced. Here is the vesicle formation and blanching of the oral submucosal fibrosis. In advanced state, there will be the blanched, slight opaque stiffening will be seen. In palpitation, there is a presence of vertical band will be seen. If we involve the pterygomandibular raphe, difficulty in mouth opening. Sometimes it is spread into pharynx. As a result, inability to blow or whistle. The impairment of trunk and atrophy of trunk because of the using chronic irritation of betel nut or areca nut. So impairment of trunk and atrophy will be seen. The patient difficult to swallowing due to that involvement of pharynx. If present in the nasopharynx, there will be the air pain will be present because these fibrosis extend towards the pharynx. As a result, there will be a air pain also present. Histology, an early stage hyperplasia will be seen, and later the flattening of the reticular ridges will be seen, and this juxtaepithelial hyalinization, because of this is the epithelium beneath the area called as juxta epithelial, that area become hyalinized. The collagen area become thickened and mild inflammation, which means neutrophil and rarely plasma cells are also seen. In moderately, the epithelium is atrophic and hyperkeratic. The collagen become thicker. The inflammatory cells, especially lymphocytes, are also seen. Due to the fibrosis, as a result, the blood vessels become constrict. So there is a lack of blood supply. As a result, muscle fibers start to degenerate. In advanced stage, the epithelium became atrophic. The stroma became completely hyalinized. Here is the juxtaepithelial area. This area became completely hyalinized, and the epithelium became thick. There is a degeneration of muscle fibers, and blood vessels completely or slightly obliterated. But some cases having blood vessels, but some area having blood vessels. Treatment, it does not regress with the habit of cessation. Mild case treated with the corticosteroid, because of the corticosteroid is inhibit the process of mucosal fibrosis to reduce symptoms and limit progression. In moderate type, there is a surgical excision needed, and lifelong sclerotherapy is also done. Intralesional injection of interferon gamma, it is also inhibit the collagen synthesis. And topical intralesional proteolysis, because of digesting collagen is a protein, so digesting the collagen, and vitamins and minerals and antioxidant are also used. The oral submucosal fibrosis are more likely to develop oral cancer, that is squamous cell carcinoma. Thank you.